sit and wonder about the times that it made sense, but nowadays I don't worry about what's past tense. My younger days I used to hang around with mad friends. If we just fell out, I don't really know what happened. A lot of people come around to keep you stagnant, distraction. So yeah, don't show them no compassion. We was really out here grinding, really rapping, stacking them Franklins, them Grants, and them Jacksons. Imagine if we would've never chased our passion, we probably would've never knew what happened. They was all just talk, we showed action. Once they leave, don't you let them back in. Just pack up all they stuff and send them packing. I'm blacking on anybody thinking they could act up with me. This vibe ain't for free, cause where I'm at in life, I'm only focused on me. Note the self, know yourself, focus on your health. They don't wanna help them, do it by yourself. Don't give them no excuse to put you on the shelf.
Hey,
if it's me, myself.
Thank you for tuning in to today's episode of Grind Hard, Hustle Smart with me, Charles Johnson. So today I'm gonna do something a little unorthodox today. Get my mic straightened out here. What am I doing? Today I want to talk about ways to avoid burnout, and this is just 10 to 13 strategies and tactics that I use personally to just kind of get my mind in the right state of mind and do things in a healthy way, or a way that avoids me giving up on the things that I want to accomplish, right? Because we can get so bogged down by life and the things that we have to accomplish to the point where we don't realize that we're destroying ourselves and we're emptying the gas tank, if you will, of all the motivation, of all the willpower, of all the love that we have for what we do and what we are doing and things that we're doing around us. So I just want to hop into it today, man. Just not take up too much of your time, but just tune in, stay strapped in, stay motivated, stay pumped up, stay ready to go. As always, man, I'm just so thankful and so happy that you're here. Hey, let's just get right into it. So the first step in avoiding burnout and becoming unmotivated is prioritizing you. And most people, like you see here in parentheses, would see that as self-care. And what I mean by prioritize you is this: you is not being selfish, in terms of like something maniacal or depriving others from the things that they deserve, but it's being selfish with your time and just ensuring that you take time for yourself, be it, I know a lot of people like to go get manicures and pedicures or get massages or just take time for themselves, take time away from what they're doing, right? And you just got to ensure that you are okay with you. That's what this comes down to, self-care. What do you enjoy doing? How do you enjoy doing it? And, do you set the appropriate amount of time for you to enjoy the things that you do? And do you set the appropriate amount of time for you to be able to go and, do these things in a healthy way, of course? And it's all about balance. It's all about balance, work-life balance. What are you doing to prioritize you? Are you reading books? Are you taking time away to say, you know what? Let me take my foot off the gas just a little bit, man, because I can see myself getting to the point of no return where my tank's on E and I'm running on fumes and I don't know if I want to keep going because what I'm doing doesn't seem fulfilling or fruitful. All right, so the next step of this is, excuse me, let me get my stuff together here. The next step of this is setting clear boundaries. This is so important. How many times could we have avoided many of the headaches that we have in life in terms of relationships and work and relationships that we have on the job and the relationships that we have with our loved ones if we just from the beginning, from the onset, set clear and concise and measurable boundaries, your non-negotiables. How many of us fail to do this? Too often we fail to do this, and we need to become more disciplined on setting boundaries and sticking to those boundaries. When we say that this is the line that we will not cross, we mean it. And don't come question us about why that boundary exists, because that's my ethos, that's my ethics, that's my morals. I have no right to question you about yours, and you have no right to question me about mine. So that's what we're talking about here. Set clear boundaries to say, you know what, man? There's some things that I just can't go beyond. There's some things I will not tolerate. There's some things I will not let exist within my space or around me. What are those things for you? Next is delegate, man. Simply ask for help. If you got a team around you, hey, you go do this, hey, you go do this, hey, you go do that. And this isn't just from a leadership standpoint. There's this great book called Managing the Manager. Sometimes we as followers can say, hey, boss, hey, leader, I need help with this. You have more experience in this area than me. Can you take care of this portion of things that need to be done? And that even in your family, hey, mom, hey, dad, hey, wife, hey, husband, you're more versed, you're more disciplined in these areas of life than I am. Can you take this for me or show me how to do it more efficiently? Show me how to be more disciplined. How can I learn from you? Ask for help, man. I'm getting bogged down, man. I'm tired, man. Can you help me, please? Can you help me? Help me. Help me. The words of Kevin Hart, right? That's what we got to begin doing, man, because we're going to get burned out fast if we are taking on team tasks by ourselves when we have people around us that can, chip in and help out, and they might have more know-how and more energy than we do to put towards those things. So ask for help is so important. Next, we're going to talk about managing your time. Manage your time. So far too often, I'm guilty of it. I remember my sister-in-law was asking me this weekend, Charles, why you always wait till Sunday? And I told her I do generally enjoy doing my work on Sunday, but that don't mean I have to do a bulk of my work on Sunday. I'm talking about schoolwork, and I wait. And when I truly could have finished my projects or my homework assignments, days in advance, and I wait until not necessarily the last minute, but I wait until Sunday, the day that things are due, because they're due at 11:59, a minute before midnight on Sunday, and I could do them earlier, and that's just me not managing my time accordingly. When I could do things, why, like my grandma used to say, why put off today? Why put off for tomorrow what you can do today? And if many of us just live our lives according to that standard, we get a lot more things done and a lot more things, or a lot more free time. Excuse me. We can get things done and have more freedom to do what we like to do. We don't have to do things or or wait to the last minute to get these tasks and these things done. We can do it today so that we can alleviate or free up more time for ourselves tomorrow or in the coming hour. Right? I think this time is because it's something that we do not get back. We don't get our time back, people. Time, once that second that I just finished talking, will never play out in history again, nor will we ever get that time back. Time never rewinds. It is always progressing. It is always running out. And life is finite. So use your time accordingly. And this is just something that we should just take away and put into everything we do. Manage your time. Prioritize things that need your attention now. Put off things that do not, require the urgency for you to see that thing right now. It's kind of like the way when I was in the U.S. military, we prioritize injuries, right? Whether somebody was non-ambulatory or urgent, or they need to be evac right now, or they got massive blood loss. Clearly, those people that are losing that life fluid blood, need to be evac right now. But somebody who's just ambulatory or non-ambulatory, who can walk under their own power, they just may have like a fractured bone or a broken leg. They're not bleeding out as severe, or the bleeding's under control. You may not necessarily need to evac that person right now, but somebody who needs to get to the ER, get to that operating room within what we call the golden hour, in order to increase the chance of them living, they need to go now. I need that helicopter today. This is the same way you manage your time. What do you need to do right now? What requires your attention right now? And what can you put off for moments after you get the most important things done? This includes people. What people do you need to meet with immediately? What people do you need to talk with immediately? Who do you need to give the majority of your time right now? And can some other people that don't necessarily need your attention right now, can they wait? Take a break. Man, take a break. So far too often do we get in, this quote unquote rat race, and we get so bogged down by life that we just become beasts of burden, and we just hold our head down and we just look at the ground, just putting one foot in front of the other, getting one thing accomplished after the other, and we don't take time to sit back and take a breather and gain some more momentum to push into the next event, to push into the next obstacle, to push into the next task that we're trying to accomplish, that next goal, that next milestone. We don't take time to sit back and say, you know what, let me take a break. Let me get some rest. Let me relax. Let me recover. Let me get a drink of water. Let me get some substance. Let my mind take a break. Take a break, man. They're vital. This ain't saying sit down for days and days and days and days at a time, but you need to sit down and let yourself recover. I equate this to when, like, I go to the gym. I go to the gym quite often, right? And I go work out and I do reps and I rest. I work out genuinely pretty hard. And you can't work that same muscle repeatedly for an extended period of time for days and days and days and days on end. That's why you usually see people take, what we call rest days in the industry, right? In the fitness industry. You need that rest day. You need that rest moment. You need that rest minute. You got to say, you know what? Let me take a step back, get myself recovered, let my body, let my mind, let my emotions, let my spirit recuperate from everything that's been going on, and just take a step back and take the load off, so to speak. Say, you know what? Man. And then when you feel rested enough, when you're ready to get back into it, guess what? You get back into it. So take a break, people. Take a break. Man, set real goals. Set real goals. And what I mean by this, I love this method, the SMART method. The SMART method, is something that's sizable, right? Put it into, or not sizable, excuse me, specific. Put it into perspective. And when I say specific, I mean pinpoint accurate. Like, don't just say, I want to be the greatest motivational speaker in the world, because that covers a huge array of things. I don't just say, I want to be the greatest doctor to ever live. Don't just say, I want to one day become a U.S. president. Don't just say, I want to become the best lawyer to ever study case law. What do you want to study? What do you want to be the best speaker at? What in what way do you think you as a U.S. president would be the most impactful? And then make those goals measurable. So now we didn't pinpoint it, what we want to do, what the goal is. Be absolutely 100% specific. Make it measurable. Get what is it? How do you know you are getting closer to accomplishing that goal? Or how do you know if that goal, the efficacy, excuse me, of that goal is where it needs to be in order to get the impact that you're looking for? What are you using to measure the effectiveness of you reaching that goal, and how impactful that goal is, once you reach it, right? And then achievable. Make it something real. And let me make sure I'm telling you all the right things, because I'm just going off the dome, man. I'm just going off the dome with this information. Let me make sure I give you all the right stuff. Yes, achievable, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure it's something that you can do. Like, don't be out here like you. I'm not saying that things are impossible, because I don't believe that. But if 14 years old, and you say to yourself, you know what, I want to wake up and build a spaceship tomorrow, or you just that engineering college student, or you just that, education student, or wherever you are, if you think you're going to accomplish that goal, especially this grandiose goal tomorrow, I'm here to, give you some reality and let you know that is not going to happen. I'm not saying it's impossible. It's just not going to happen tomorrow. You're not going to lose 10 pounds tomorrow. You should have started that months ago. You're not going to get your GED, your PhD, your MBA, your bachelor's, your associates, whatever certificate you're wanting to achieve. You're not going to get that tomorrow. You should have started months ago. If you're just now, if you're make it achievable. If you're just now waking up and saying, you know what, tomorrow, I think I'm gonna gain, $10 billion. Good luck. And if you do, let me know who your plug is and send me that money, because you're probably gonna need bail money because you're going to jail soon. You're gonna do some Fed time because you probably got it illegally. So make it achievable, make it relevant to you. Don't be sitting out here don't sit out here and try to accomplish goals that are not important to you or have any meaning to you whatsoever. Make them relevant to you. If you're a law professor, if you're a lawyer, if you're a congressman, if you're a student, if you're a teacher, if you're working a cashier at Walmart, if you however that goal relates to you and your life and the things that you want to attain, make them relevant to you. The worst thing that you want to do when you get to the end of this life, you get to that crescendo or that end goal, whatever that end state is for you, that destination, and you say, you know what, I don't think I want any of this. That's because you didn't make those things relevant to you. And yes, the great thing about this method is you can change it over time, because we as human beings tend to be very fluid and very, very wishy-washy in terms of how we feel emotionally. So yes, you can adjust this. You can manipulate it to fit your current agenda, but make it relevant to you and to what you are trying to accomplish. It does you no good to go out here, you know what, I'm going to go to med school, and you don't want to be a doctor. You want to be a lawyer. Come on, make it make sense. All right, and make it time-based. Give yourself a deadline. Give yourself some guardrails. Give yourself some constraints to say, you know what, I need to get this thing accomplished in the next 6 months. I need to get this thing accomplished in the next year. I need to get it accomplished in the next 2 years. When we talk about business, we're talking about, your 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, 40-year plan. And then, in the business world, they also have what they call an exit strategy. Okay, how do you plan on getting to this? What goals do you plan on accomplishing? How much time do you give yourself to accomplish these goals? And if it's time to get out of it, if the goal is unachievable in the end, or you have met all the marks, how do you take a step back and say, you know what, okay, it's done. I accomplished what I did to do. Now it's time for me to exit stage right. So please, this SMART method is awesome: specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-based. Learn to say no. Learn to say no, people. Stop telling everybody yes. Don't be a yes man. Don't be a yes woman. Learn to say no. This is how we get ourselves in trouble. People assume that we're men and women of our word, that we have integrity, which I believe most of us are. But we also get ourselves in trouble with this when we say yes to too many things. You can't be everywhere at all times. You're not omnipresent. None of us are God. So we can't be everywhere at all times. You can't, commit to everything and everyone. Sometimes these things don't even meet your values. Does those things that you want to accomplish align with your brand? Does it align with the way you carry yourself? Does it align with your character? How will people think about you if you go do these things that are being offered to you? So learn to say no, man. Learn to say no. If you know you got people in your life who may not necessarily be a positive influence, and they say, hey, man, let's go out on the town. Hey, bro, I got some things I got to do. I can't do it. Hey, sis, I can't do it. I'm going to be over here getting this thing done. But, I love you. Hey, let me know how I go. But I can't join you. Because 9 times out of 10, what that person going to do may be detrimental to your future, detrimental to your goals, and it may put you completely off track of where you want to be. Learn to say no. Yes, saying no is painful. And when you start saying no a lot, you're going to lose some relationships. People are going to be upset. It's okay. That's part of life. Friction is part of life. Friction is all around us. There's atoms smashing into one another as we move throughout the world. It's called heat. You're going to have heated conversations. You're going to have heated moments, and people are going to be upset because you don't go along with the way in which they want things to happen. Learn to say no. Do not overextend yourself. And this is how you stop people from putting labels on you and assuming that you're not a man or a woman of your word when in fact you are, because you learn how to say no. If you do not have the time and you do not have the availability, or those things are not important to you, or they may be detrimental to your health, physically, emotionally, spiritually, or getting to your goals, and may derail you towards, or may derail you off the path to getting to where you want to be, it's okay. Perfectly healthy to do so. Learn to say no. Have a support system. This is so important. I don't care if it's a church, I don't care if it's a group of friends, I don't care how big or small your circle is. Have a support system, and have a good support system. It does you no good to have a bunch of people around you who are just yes men, who tell you what you. We see this play out far too many times in affluent communities, people who are in athletics, people who are in professional sports, people who are celebrities or in some type of entertainment. They have all these yes men, and then they get to down the road, years, a decade or so down the road, and they're completely broke because they've been saying yes to, or everybody's been telling them yes. Nobody's stepping in to say, hey, bro, I don't think you should spend your money. That's not a good investment. That's not a good investment. The most successful people that we see on the planet have an amazing support system. I don't remember what James's agent name is, but they were childhood friends. That's a good support system. Somebody to say, you know what, LeBron, I know you're going to the league, brother. And I don't want to be a leech. Put me to work. And what did LeBron do? LeBron brought his boy in, made him, I believe he's the number one, or he's at least in the top 5 agents in sports, right? Making a ton of money. That's a good support system. They support each other. Hey, man, I'm LeBron. When you make it to the top, I'm not going to stab you in your back. I'm not going to do nothing but give you sound advice. Your problems are my problems. I'm going to treat your investors like they're mine. I'm going to take personal responsibility over the advice that I give you, because my words, if I'm advising you, have impact and they have consequences for your life, for your family's life, good or bad. So let me make sure I'm giving you sound advice. I'm giving you my gift of discernment. I'm giving you the wisdom that God has given me. Let me make sure I'm pointing you in the right direction. I'm not telling you things to take advantage of you or put you in a situation where you're going to lose everything. Ladies and gentlemen, we need a good support system. My pastor always says, he says, have people in your circle that are willing to tell you no. Have people in your circle that can tell you no, that can tell you no. Hey, man, that's not a good look. Don't do that. Hey, man, that's not a good purchase. Don't do that. Hey, sis, I don't think what you're doing right now, that's in line with where you want to be. That's not in line with where you want to go. That's not in line with what you want to do in terms of your relationship. How would your kids think about that? How will your man think about that? How will your parents think about that? The same thing goes for us men. We need friends and family that are willing to tell us the truth, and they don't even have to be friends or family. These can be professional people, whether it be a therapist, a psychologist, a counselor, an agent, an advisor, a life coach, whatever. Somebody that can tell you the truth. And yes, it's going to suck and it's going to hurt. It's going to be painful at times to have those difficult conversations, but you need to hear the truth. Have a good support system, people that you can lean on to say, you know what, I cannot carry myself over the finish line. Can you help me? Can you help me? Good people. And don't just be having, random people in your circle. Good quality, wise, resilient, hardworking people in your corner, man, who only have your best at heart. Mindfulness. Ladies and gentlemen, practice some mindfulness. Go take time for prayer. Take time to practice meditation. Get in your own head sometimes, just figure things out. Get rid of all that, the rambunctiousness of life, the busyness of life, the chaos of life, and just be at peace, man. Woosa. Go out and be secluded in nature and just listen to the birds chirp and listen to the wind, shuffle through the leaves and the trees. Practice some mindfulness, man. You may become enlightened. You'd be amazed at the amount of clarity you can gain when you just get out in nature and just quiet your life and listen. Let God, let the universe, let nature speak to you. Listen to your own heart, listen to your own mind, and just be at peace. And quiet your mind, quiet that negative self-talk, quiet that doubt, quiet that frustration, quiet that anger, quiet that fear, quiet that talk that tells you that you're not good enough, you're not smart enough, you're not beautiful enough, you're not educated enough. Quiet all that and just be at peace and just listen. And sometimes it's to help us solve the very problems that we are facing that are causing us to feel burned out, that are causing us to feel unmotivated. This is how you get a hobby. Find something that you like doing for fun. For me, I like going to the gym. I love going to the gym. I love podcasting. I love writing books. I love reading books. I love building things. Get a hobby. Get a hobby, something that you can do to just take your mind off of everything and just be completely in tune with what's going on in front of you. I don't care if it's putting a puzzle together. I don't care if it's going for a jog. I don't care if it's skydiving. Whatever that hobby is, whatever gets you off of that particular thought pattern, go do it. Find a hobby. If you don't know what you like doing, go experiment and do things. I'm not talking about going out here and doing something foolish like illicit drugs and getting yourself in all types of chaos and trouble. Good, healthy fun. Good, healthy fun. Go find a hobby. Get a hobby. Find something you like doing for fun. See a therapist, man. See a therapist. Go see a professional who can help you work through your mental health problems, work through the things that you're going through in life, that mental fatigue, those mental blocks. Get somebody professional, keyword professional, not your homegirl who likes to gossip, not your homeboy who likes to gossip, a professional whose only objective is to see you get better, whose only objective is to help you think with more clarity, whose only objective is to better you in every way, physically, emotionally, spiritually, however it is they can help. Seek professional help to help you work through these things, because we cannot do it alone, and it is not healthy to just sit here and voice our problems to these echo chambers and these group thinks where people just tell us what we want to hear, or they look like us and they act like us, they think like us, they sound like us. You need somebody who's outside the circle, whose only objective is to see you get better and to tell you the truth and to give you what things really are and to tell you what perspective looks like from the outside, because sometimes we're too close to the situation to see it for what it really is, and we entangle our situation with our emotions when it's really not that deep. It's really not that deep. It just feels like it. Develop a positive mindset. And I'm not just talking about saying, hey man, I feel good about myself today. No, say, you know what? I'm going to conquer myself today so that I can begin conquering the tasks that I got going throughout the day. Yes, right now sucks, but I'm good at this. Life is great right now. Kind of like having a grateful attitude, but a positive mindset, something to push back against that negativity that we walk into every single moment of the day, that negativity that confronts us every single moment of the day, those thoughts that confront us every single moment of the day, those people, those negative people. We all have them in our life. We must develop a positive mindset to see beyond that negativity and say, you know what? This situation might suck right now. What I'm going through may feel painful right now, but when I get beyond it, there's better things on the other side of pain. There's success on the other side of pain. There's growth on the other side of pain. This is just temporary. My current situation is not my forever situation. Create a healthy environment. Create a healthy environment around you. For me, what if it's, organizing my desk or my workspace, or, even having certain people around you throughout the day. You don't want those negative Nancy's around you all the time because they'll bring down your mood, man. So you got to create a healthy environment around you, like an ecosystem. When the ecosystem starts to die, it affects everything. Everything is interconnected in those ecosystems. How does the ecosystem look around you? What does your ecosystem look like? Is it healthy or is it unhealthy? Do everybody just feed you what you want to hear? Do everybody just feed you negativity and you just buy into it? And next thing you know, everybody's living the same lifestyle. Nobody has made any progress. Everybody's making the same amount of money. Everybody's doing the same thing, thinking the same way, wearing the same thing, and nobody is advancing? Or do you live in a healthy ecosystem where everybody's prosperous, everything's vibrant, everybody's becoming more than what they were the day before? Everybody's healthy. People's jobs are on the up and up. People's mindsets are in the positive direction. People are all about getting better than they were the moment before. What does your ecosystem look like around? And focus on today. Focus on today. You cannot worry about 2028 because it hasn't gotten here yet. But I promise you, if you focus on accomplishing whatever goal you got to accomplish today, 2028, whatever goal you've set to reach in that year, I promise you, you'll get it. Focus on today, ladies and gentlemen. Put things in perspective. We cannot worry about tomorrow. Let tomorrow worry about itself. Focus on today. Or like my pops used to say, live in the moment. Live in the moment, people. Worry about what's happening right now. Worry about what's happening right now. Deal with what's in your sphere of control. Stop worrying about everything. Focus. Focus on today. That's it, peeps. So that's what I got for you today, man. And I was just thinking about one more thing to add to this, but I think that hits every nail on the head. I think that hits everything on the head, man. So take this for what it is. Learn from it. Like I said, these are techniques that I use. I'm not perfect. So clearly I don't use them all the time, nor do I use them in the order that I listed here. But it's very important that we learn to put these things in our life and make them a habit. Make them a habit. And this doesn't just apply for work. It doesn't just apply for school. It applies for life. You can use these strategies in all parts of your life. I promise you. You can use these in all parts of your life, just in all types of applicable situations, right? Where you can say, or where you can apply these in all types of situations, where you can say, you get in that stressful moment, you get in that argument with your spouse, you get in that argument with your significant others, you get in that argument with your family, you just take a step back, woosah, practice some mindfulness, focus on what's going on around you, create that healthy environment, then get back into the argument, or get back into the conversation, or get back into the situation when you have a level head. You can practice this anywhere. I promise you, ladies and gentlemen. So these are just some things to focus on. I know I've taken up a lot of your time. I'm not going to apologize for that. I'm not, because this is going to do nothing but help each and every one of you get better, deal with situations better, avoid burnout, avoid becoming demotivated, avoid lessening your amount of resilience and perseverance, and it's only going to help you. Changing is going to be painful, and it's going to be stressful at times, but I promise you, when you start to implement these things and make them a part of your daily routine and make them part of your habits, you're going to get better. You have no choice but to get better. I just want to see you become a better man or a better woman than you were the moment before just now, and the day before, and the month before, and the year before. My goal is to make sure that a decade from now, I have said something today that would have shot you to a trajectory that you never thought of a decade from now. You end up somewhere when you look back years from now and say, you know what? It was this thing that was the catalyst between me going from where I was to where I am now. And as always, thank you for tuning in today's episode of Grind Hard, Hustle Smart with me, Charles Johnson. As you see here, you can go to Instagram, find me at GHH Smart on Instagram. Obviously, the Instagram page or the YouTube page, is called Grind Hard, Hustle Smart. Hey, I don't have any sponsors, but if you all want to, give me some sponsors, let your boy know, reach out. Hey, show your support. As always, you can go buy the merchandise at thegrindishard.com, thegrindishard.com. I have redone the logos. I've put some new merch up there, so go check it out. Check it out. Also, the book is still available on Amazon.com. It's called Lit, Be a Change Catalyst. Lit, Be a Change Catalyst at Amazon.com. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, you all are awesome, amazing, wonderful human beings. Don't let anybody tell you anything different. And always remember, if you're too afraid to walk beyond your fear, you'll never be brave enough to run into your destiny. Have a good one.
Who knew I would make it this far? They hated, they never believe me. Yeah, I would never drop the ball. I know I make it look easy. Yeah, Mayweather with the defense. I don't care what a critic got to say. I got them picking up the pieces. That to me, you really playing with your life. I'm about to come and run it all back. I'm the new era, about to snap back. You ain't fitting for it, cause you all cap like. Hold up, I shoot my shot. Wait, hold up. I'm really about to run this go up. You know it's all net when it go up. Ain't got no other plans, you don't need to understand, ayy. We on overtime, you don't need to understand, ayy. You just show them how to do it when you don't know what to say. Tell me how you plan to win if you plan to play the same.
Moving fast, already gone, yeah, but you bringing me back. Try to double cross me, dog, just let me relax. Stop assuming what we